let's take this to a deeper look now with the government shutdown over. The big concern is that Democrats will try to do this again at the end of January. And it's exposed the split in that party, and it's growing exponentially. Some Dems now saying it's time to throw out the old and bring in the new. New Jersey Senator Cory Booker with this. It is time for a new generation of leaders to stand up to Trump and to all those complicit in sabotaging the American dream, end of quote. Across Capitol Hill, progressives are also fed up, but not just with their leadership. Here's Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
I think what is so important for folks to understand is that this problem is bigger than one person, and it actually is bigger than the minority leader in the Senate. I think what's important is that we understand that this is not just a leader is reflected as a reflection of the party. And Senate Democrats have selected their leadership to represent them. And so the question needs to be bigger than just one person.
Well, a dodge from her part, but there are plenty of progressives calling for the removal of Senator Chuck Schumer. Now, maybe she doesn't actually want to say that out loud because she might plan to run against him. And some of those lawmakers willing to do so are all around and on the screen. In focus now, our power panel, Tiffany Smiley, former Senate candidate and Endeavor PAC founder, and Julian Epstein, Democrat strategist. Great to see you both. Julian, I'm going to start with you on the call for the leadership to step down. And they're focused so much on Trump. They do realize that, I mean, a whole new generation for one president?
Well, thanks for having me, Harris. It's not a generational problem. It's a problem of the party being too far left. You know, the far left, Harris, since the French Revolution, has always eaten its own. It's true of the Jacobins in the French Revolution, the Reds in the Russian Revolution, the cultural revolutionaries in Mao. The far left always tries to eat its own. Senator Schumer did exactly what the far left wanted here. The strategy was never going to win. There's no way after winning the House, the White House, the Senate, and the House that the Republicans were going to cede power to the Democrats, especially on something like Obamacare, which has so many flaws. Rather than admitting that the progressives had a bad strategy, what they try to do is purge the moderates who are much closer to the median voter than are the progressives. And this is just part and parcel with the history of the far left doing things that are ultimately just very destructive. You know,
you have consistently been transparent on that. When I've asked even high-profile Democrats, do you think maybe you're not wearing the pants on this one and it's the far left in your party? They never seem to feel outnumbered. What you're saying is they might be, just in terms of how potent these people are.
Because they're scared of the flying monkeys of the online left. That's why.
Flying monkeys. Okay. Democrat Senator John Fetterman, who we know is not afraid to speak up against his own party, wrote this on how he sees both sides of the political aisle. Quote, I've drunk deeply the venom of both the left and the right. And as a connoisseur, I can confirm that the most poisonous, the bitterest, is from the far left. The right tells me I suck and calls me names. The far left calls for my death. He even listed some shocking examples in a recent interview.
On the left, it was like they want me to die, or that we're cheering for your next stroke. Why couldn't a depression won? And I hope your kids find you in your head, cheering at that. Yeah, and they said that, I remember one, they claimed, oh, the doctor let us down, and why did they have to save his life?
Tiffany, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, Fetterman has turned into a political hero for both sides of the aisle. And the truth of the matter is that the Democrat Party has become a narrow, single-track party where the only way to be accepted, like Fetterman was talking about, is to be anti-American, anti-capitalist, and anti-worker. And I think what we're seeing is that the Democrat Party is lost, and they've lost the American people. We saw a handful of them vote to end the charade where they were willing to inflict harm on the American people for their own political purposes. So I think the Democrat Party is in a full-fledged revolt where they have no idea how to govern or get anything done in Washington, D.C. The truth of the matter is that the majority of Democrats wanted to keep the government shut down. They wanted to inflict pain on millions of Americans, including the most vulnerable, our law enforcement, air traffic controllers, to see them suffer for their own political advantage. So I think we, have to look at it. If the Democrats can't even control the far left radical side of their party, just imagine what they would do if they controlled the House or the Senate going forward.
That's an interesting point. Look, I'm just praying we don't have to go through this all over again at the end of January. I mean, if they've really lost control, then what happens next? Julian, your last quick thought. Maybe you have something to say about that.
I don't think it'll happen. Years ago, the progressives formed their own political parties, the Working Families Party, the Democratic Socialists of America. It's time now for people like John Fetterman to form their own offshoot of the Democratic Party. Call it the Democratic Builders Party. Independents and moderates represent 50%.
But you know how people are and how they vote, though, Julian. I have to push back a bit. You know that they're going to vote party line, and those names, it takes years for that stuff to catch on, cycles for that to catch on.
Because moderates have not gained the leverage that they have in the electorate. Moderates and independents represent probably 50% of the electorate.
They do.
But they have no way of exercising that power. These moderates should now form their own party. They should be an offshoot of the Democratic Party, the way the Democrats did in places like New York with the Working Families Party. They should caucus with the Democrats when appropriate, and they should threaten third-party runs when the party goes too far left, because that's where the voters are. Until that happens, the moderates are not going to have
Democrats, this is just the beginning.
All right. Well, according to Hakeem Jeffries, you're absolutely right. Great to see you both. Thank you so very much. We'll bring you back.
Thanks, Harris.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.